just like it was back in the Big 12, will Texas be the top dog in the state when they join the SEC, or do you think Texas A&M has such a big head start that they will continue to dominate the state, or what about Baylor? Baylor is its own culture. Baylor has its own formula to win and compete that I think is different than the A&M formula or the Texas formula. I think this is a Texas and Texas A&M question, and that's always a juicy combination. So you remember, what was it, Jesse, about 2 weeks ago when we did that segment of college football, that guys, and it was just the age-old stereotypes, like the Mount Rushmore of college football, certain types of fans, and one of the types was blank and it's not close. There are going to be a lot of blank and it's not close guys in the comment section of this video. Because when you ask, when both of these schools are in the SEC, which program is going to run the state of Texas? Texas, and it's not close. A&M, and it's not close. Here's my thought on this. I don't think it's possible any longer for there to be this huge gap between the programs. I look at it now, and since you mentioned the word or the words head start, I look at where Texas A&M is now versus where they were once upon a time. Where Texas A&M was once upon a time is in a situation where a lot of their fate felt like it was outside of their control. You can go all the way back to the Southwest Conference days, or you can go to the Big 12 Conference days, but there was a feeling, right or wrong, there was a feeling amongst Aggie faithful that we control what we control, but ultimately there's a lot that goes on in Austin and the league office and everything in between that affects us, that's outside our control, and you always felt like it was you competing against some unseeable force out there that was working against you. But now, that doesn't exist. I don't care if and when Texas gets to the SEC, that doesn't exist. If Texas does run it up on you, if Texas is distancing themselves from you, if they're pulling ahead of you, it's because Texas is outperforming you, which could happen. I don't foresee it happening, but it could happen. I think what's going to happen is this is going to turn into, again, one of the top and premier rivalries in college football. I think it's going to arrive at the main event table, actually, of the rivalry, at least aspect of college football, because they're both going to be in the toughest, well, I don't know what the division structure is going to be like. They're going to both be in the premier conference in America. It's the NIL era, which has added like a whole new level to this. They're both, I think, programs, especially A&M now, at the highest profile that we've seen them in quite a while. It's just everything you need for a great rivalry. But Texas A&M, there is no way. Like, I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, when Texas gets to the SEC now, it's game over for A&M. No, that's crazy. No, it's not. Texas A&M football in 2022 and beyond, they're not taking a back seat to anyone unless it's of their own doing. Now, Texas A&M could screw over Texas A&M, but there's no external force at work no longer at the league office level or whatnot. There's not that. There is no favoritism for Texas in the SEC, I can assure you that. There's also nothing that you need to succeed at the highest level that Texas has that A&M doesn't. What do they have? I know what I'm going to hear is, oh, Texas has limitless pocketbooks. Well, so does A&M. You know, and really, even if we were to start talking about this, if we were to start talking financial semantics, both are at such a level that it's like a couple of billionaires arguing in a grocery store. It doesn't matter. Both of you can buy the entire store. It doesn't matter which one has the higher net worth at that point. So there is not an edge there. There will not be a discernible edge in recruiting because one will not let the other have that. Both cultures are great. Both programs are great. They're both going to presumably be performing at a high level within the context of this question. I don't think either one of them is going to dominate the state of Texas. If both are performing at relatively high levels to their capability, they're both going to be good. So I don't think either one of them is going to dominate the state of Texas. I know what the comment section is going to look like on this individual video when we cut it for YouTube. You won't convince me that one of these is just going to dominate the other unless the other's shortcomings and shortcomings alone trigger it. There is no structural advantage that disproportionately tilts to one over the other. I should have said that like 5 minutes ago. That is my feel on that.